the Shire. Turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast, Potter podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks, not so mighty tonight, and not the greatest club in the history of the world, just for tonight. This show is brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes at Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. My name is Sam Shinazzi, an OG from 2015. Short, sharp review coming up. A little bit of a different one as well, a little bit more scattered in my thoughts. Sharks losing 15 points to 14 in a tight contest against the Bulldogs at Homebush. Boy, oh boy, another game we really should have won. We didn't. We've lost 4 out of the last 5 games. We're officially in a slump. The good news is it's a slump we can get out of. The bad news is we're not playing too good. And there are positives, there are negatives all over the shop in this one. And the positives are hard to see. But the fact is we should have won that game. We had a bad start. We conceded some tries from kicks. We missed easy field goals. Gave away a lot of 6-agains, penalties, some of which were 50-50. But there's a lot of improving to do in this team to get to where they need to be. Now, they have to improve on that for it to be positives. As you can hear in my voice, pretty disappointed with that performance overall. And just a game they should have won. It was there to be taken. It wasn't. But you can look at the very start of the game. We had a drop ball from our captain, who we love and adore, and then some repeat sets. We concede a try to kick out from a grubber kick where 2 of our players kind of get in the way of each other. And it didn't get much better for parts of the night. So a lot to dissect here. We're not going to do it all tonight for lots of different reasons. But I wanted to jump on here and express my disappointment in the result and talk about some of the things that happened. Sharks will stay in 3rd spot no matter what this weekend and play the Titans in Coffs Harbour next week. It was a frustrating game, and that's how it started. That's how it finished. People are into me about all sorts of things tonight, and that's what happens when you're a podcast person. People are into you, and that's fine. Not complaining at all. Love to hear from you. SharkCastpod@gmail.com is the best way. You can DM us on our social medias, and we'll always get to you. We will get to you during the week, that's for sure. Also, I am talking a little bit quieter tonight to not wake up the neighbourhood. The sun will hopefully rise tomorrow morning. That's what I'm hoping for. So, and I'm also doing this on my phone, just for all of you tech heads out there, not on my fancy recording gear. So it should still be fine and clear and audible, though I am speaking at a lower tone. Such a difficult one to dissect straight after the game. Yes, Nico Hines should have got that field goal, no doubt in my mind, and completely feel for him. To be perfectly honest, it's going to annoy a lot of you, but I feel for him and for that miss, because the storyline was there for him to change, to be the hero. It didn't happen that way, and all of a sudden people are into him about how he can't rugby league anymore, which I think is, to be perfectly blunt, I think it's nonsense. An elite player would have kicked that field goal, and I have strong confidence that next time that happens, he will do it. So he can't change that miss, but he can correct it, practice it, get better, and that's my take on that. But completely agree with the world that he should have got it. The story about Talakai going too far towards the line, I mean, Talakai's run was unbelievable to get him in that position. You know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but when he's doing that in the heat of the moment, he cannot be criticised for running 2 metres too far. This isn't the NFL. This is NRL. He's trying to score a try. They are setting up for a field goal. He's aware of that. He's making probably more metres than he thought he would. And I have zero criticism for Talakai, both in the game tonight and in that moment. The pass from Blake didn't look exactly crisp. I think it was just a bit of a meltdown all over. I was almost as disappointed in the attempt before. They went the short side to kick a field goal via Trindle, and was it that one or another one where we gave away the penalty? It looked like Kafusi was in the way. The defender ran into him. Now, I know that by the letter of the law, maybe it was correct. But gee, that one's a bit of a silly rule. I didn't think that Kafusi was blocking anyone. There were a number of 6 agains in the game, which we did give away. There was one towards the end of the game Jesse Ramian gave away, which I thought was very, very harsh. Wouldn't mind getting the stopwatch out on that one. But referees don't decide games, players do, and our opening 10 to 15 let us down again. You know, it was just not good enough. And they got better. To be fair, they got better as the game went on. A decent second half, played hard, strong. They went set for set with the best defensive team in the comp, which the Dogs are. I thought defensively we were pretty good. Like there were things that I liked in the game tonight, but it's hard to sort of sink your teeth into those things when you look at the result and the effort they put into it, and they went so close and it just didn't happen. Sometimes you guys and girls are into me about how I'm drinking the Kool-Aid or I'm too nice on these guys. Really disappointed. Should have won that game. Should have won it by a bit too. The Bulldogs defensively are really great. They don't throw a lot at you in attack, and I thought we handled them well. We defeated ourselves, I thought. We know that Matt Burton's an incredible kicker of the ball, and you can't let him get anywhere near field goal range. And we did, and we paid the cost. So that was the ending of the game, and that was, I could see it coming, but it's still hard when you actually see it happen. So we saw Teague Wilton come off the bench, returning from injury. Talakai played to start the game. We'll go through some player reviews, real quick ones, just because I'm flying by the seat of my pants here, but I obviously watched the game very closely, and I have a lot of feelings on the game. I thought Will Kennedy was terrific, saved a try, ran really well, defended the kicks really well. Thought both wingers had strong games. Katoa scoring a really clever, difficult try. And I thought Ronaldo obviously set up that great try assist for Trindle in the corner. And I thought they both played really well with their running games. Safe under the high ball from what I can remember, and full credit to them. I thought the centres were decent too. Good run meters. Defensively, if there was lapses, I can't quite recall them. So I thought the back five were good. They didn't see a lot of ball sometimes, which could be a problem. The halves had very up and down games. Trindle had some weird forward passes and a few errors in his game. He did the majority of the kicking, which was odd for a while because Nico's there as well. I thought they'd share it around a bit more. He kicked the ball fine. There was no real issues with that. They were, particularly in the second half, we were winning the grind. So the kicking game wasn't too bad. I thought Nico ran the ball a bit more tonight. The thing is with Nico, if he kicks that field goal, we're all celebrating him and, talking about how things are on the rise. But he misses a kick from in front with the field goal, and we're not. But I saw some glimpses tonight that I thought were better than the last few times he's played. So we'll see what happens with him next week against the Titans. He's going to have to shake it off pretty quick because it's the NRL. It's on again in 1 week. And we play the Titans, who like to score points, so we're going to need to score some points as well. But I thought Nico and Trindle, they had in different games, like at times really good, at times not so good. Unfortunately for Nico, and we can't hide it or even defend it, the kick from in front, he should have got it no matter what. Doesn't matter where Talakai plays the ball. Doesn't matter what the pass is like. It's in front. Make it happen. Didn't happen. Criticism out there for him online, of course. Everyone online's free to say what they want. If you're going to write to us, make sure you keep it not personal. Criticise anything you want about the footy, but nothing else, please. My thoughts on Nico are that he's in somewhat of a confidence slump. I think the team as a whole are in a slump. I don't know if he's in a slump. I just think that there's some unhappy moments in his game, and they're magnified by the moments that they happen. And some moments he clearly should be getting, like tonight. Other moments, like the game against the Dolphins, I think a bit circumstantial, to be honest. If this is going to be his legacy, if this is how he's going to be remembered for missing a game against the Bulldogs, I'd be surprised. I think there's a lot more upside in him, and we've seen it. We've just got to get that back. He's going to be our highest paid player any second when that contract kicks around. So it's up to him to, weather the storm and get better and improve on what he's doing. I still believe in him, and that's not blind faith. I've seen him play champion-like football. I've seen it this year, and he's in a bit of a confidence slump. I think Craig Fitzgibbon made a great point during the week. It might have been yesterday, it might have been tonight's coverage, I'm not sure. He said people need to stop worrying about and asking about how Nico's doing. And what he means by that is every time a media rep is at Shark Park or around the Sharks, they're constantly asking how Nico Hines is. How's he feeling? How's he mentally doing? I saw it with my own eyes and ears during the week, and I'm not slamming anyone who was doing media this week at the Sharks because they're great people, great journos, but even I was taken aback at the number of people asking about how Nico is to other people, other players, other coaching staff. How's Nico going? Nico's going fine, but he is not making some of the plays he should be. That's how he's going. And I think this kind of obsession with the number 7, just to squeeze everything out of him, it's getting a bit weird. Like, things are getting weird. Like, he's not going that great, but he's not a train wreck, as far from what I can tell, on the field or off the field. He's just not living up to maybe where he needs to be, and that's not the crime of the century, but it's something he needs to fix. Not here to defend form slumps, but I am quite startled by the obsession with either how is he or he's just no good. He's not up for it. Okay? Maybe he's not up for it now. He's been up for it in the past. He might be up for it again in the future. Are you going to cut your number 1 halfback because he missed a field goal from in front? I know there's more to the story. I know that's simplifying it. But why aren't we talking about other things as well? Why aren't we talking about the captain who had an amazing knock tonight? We dropped the ball, first touch. Then we concede. Why aren't we talking about, and we will when we get to him, our starting props, including one who had an absolute nightmare of a game? Why isn't the media focusing on that? Oh, because of the profile. Okay, I get all that. I'm not dumb. I understand it. But I just feel like tonight's loss, it's not on the halfback, but he could have won it for us in a split second, no doubt. So I'm sort of torn on that one, obviously. But I think everyone's obsession with the number 7, and I'm sure I'll get lots of negative mail about me saying this, but at this point, A, I don't really care, and B, this is how I'm feeling. I just need a bit more time before I sink the boot, you know what I'm saying? So they were the halves. Anyway, working from the back of the scrum, Cam McInnes, aside from the first drop, was phenomenal. Heart and soul of the team. Really great, powerful runs. Tackled like a beast, and we love him. I thought both second rowers were decent tonight. Talakai more than Britton Nickera, but I thought Britton Nickera had some nice touches, scored a try. There were some errors in there, but I thought that he was heavily involved, and I didn't mind the knock from Britt tonight. But I thought Talakai was just, again, close to our best and lived up to the hype in his 100th game, and he should be getting all the accolades. I think he's just fantastic, and I've said that all week. I'm on the Talakai train and happy to be on there. Starting front row, Oregon Kafusi. Disappointing first half. I thought the second half was better. I've been singing his praises on and off this year. I'm not quite sure where I sit after tonight as far as being a starting prop. I think the upside in him, because of his age and because of his fitness and his ability when he's really good, I think there's a big upside there to keep him for a few years and let him grow. Whether he's our starting prop in the coming weeks, I'm not so sure. Blake Brayley was more involved than his last game, and he needs to keep that involvement up. I didn't think he had a bad game, didn't think he had a good game, just a bit indifferent. I thought he tried hard. I need to watch that field goal attempt from Nico again, but I thought the pass was a little bit something. I'm not sure. I need to confirm that. I could be completely wrong. It's hard to rewatch that so soon after the game, but I'll be watching it a lot for my day job anyway tomorrow, so we'll sink our teeth into it then. Toby Rudolph started the game for us, and easily his unhappiest game for us. He's put in a lot of effort for us over the years, but tonight it wasn't it, and he's playing like a fella that's not completely healthy. He's playing like a guy who's not completely fit, and I can't fault the effort and the intention, but way off tonight in most categories. His second stint wasn't much better. There have been some questions about him and the coach tonight about him coming back on and should have been hooked earlier. I need to watch the game back to kind of comment further on that, but I clearly thought Toby had a really unhappy game, and it sucks when any of these guys have unhappy games. So we want all of them to play to the best of their ability. I've never been his biggest supporter, but certainly want him to be amazing. So I didn't get any satisfaction from tonight from him playing poorly. I want him to be a really solid player, but tonight it just wasn't happening. And I think that, if I was looking at contracts, I don't know if Royce Hunt would be the first one I'd be letting go, or if Royce Hunt would be the one I'd be saying to people, come and shop. Because, I think that if there was a player to leave, and this isn't based on tonight, it's based on just, I think, the season versus other players and the upside and the downside, that kind of thing, age, etc. I think that Toby might be the one I'd be looking at least. I say it most weeks, I'm not one to rule a line through anyone, although I have in the past, a long time ago. But these days, I try and be more patient with players and experiences, and I just think that maybe he needs a change. And again, not completely based on tonight, but tonight just was not great. He knows it too. That's the, I guess, in inverted commas, good thing. Like, he knows that he wasn't great. He's a pretty honest fella and honest player, and I think the fact that he knows that, only good can come out of it. So we'll see what the week brings us. On the bench, we had Jack Williams, who I thought was really strong, particularly in the second half. Royce Hunt was terrific. His runs were powerful and insightful, and as Royce's strongest supporter, I was sort of doubting the kind of, let's throw the bank at him, but I'm still not throwing the bank at him, but he's earned a new deal, I think. So I don't know if it's coming from us, but he's out there proving a point, that's for sure. He was great tonight, Royce Hunt. Really terrific. Teague Wilton came on after being injured for a month or so, or a few weeks at least, and he was solid. I was surprised he didn't start the game, but he was solid. Tall Tom Hazelton had some errors in his game, but I thought that some of his runs were really good. I like him off the bench. I think he brings a bit of impact that maybe he doesn't provide when he's starting, and no real issues with Tall Tom, but I think that, he's learning his craft and he's going well, and not one of his better nights tonight, but I'm happy he's there. So overall, I think my point is, when I say that it wasn't a complete disaster tonight, is that we actually won that second half with the grind and the way we played. We just couldn't get the field goal to win the game, or the extra try, or the extra goal. So I think in a lot of ways, they were the better team first half, we were the better team second half. They won Golden Point with a field goal. So it wasn't like we blown off the park. We very much destroyed ourselves in that first 10, 15 minutes. We recovered, like we recovered against the Dolphins, but it just shows that you can't start games this way, because it will catch up with you. It really will, especially against better teams like the Bulldogs and the Dolphins. Should have won tonight. I still believe we're top 4 bound. That's not blind hope and faith saying that. I've looked at the draw, I've looked at our team. I feel we can get there. The big question is, what do we do when we get there? I've already seen a bunch of your mail come in. I'm not going to get to it now. Apologies, but we will get to it during the week. That's my absolute word, guarantee. We'll get to it. We'll discuss it as best we can. And completely appreciate everyone tuning in. I know it's a bit of a downbeat sound, me talking like this into my phone, quietly and sadly. But this is me sometimes, and this is how we're doing it. Not the greatest of nights in any manners of the word, really, to be perfectly honest. But I completely appreciate everyone who supports this podcast. I know that there's a lot of content out there, and I'm completely appreciative that you choose to tune into us once, twice, 3 times a week. It's incredible. It's incredible watching the uploads and the numbers and the downloads. When you listen, we can see it. It's really cool. We can't see who's listening specifically individually, but we see the numbers, and That's a upside. That's a bright side. That's a Mr. Brightside in my world. So thank you very much for allowing us and me to emote after games and before games and during the week about games. It's footy. It's more than footy. I understand that. I believe that. But it's also footy, and we'll be on again next week. Disappointing night. There is no doubt about that. Keep your heads up. We'll talk to you soon. Up, Cronulla.
Sharkies! Sharkies!
Fafita tries to crash his way over, he does! Fafita got the ball over the line!
And to all you people back in the Shire, turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.